left to hit the goal, continue blueprints, get momentum for DSP Tries It tomorrow. Can we do it? See, here's the LARPers over on Kick. They're going, hold contributions, hold. No, I really have to go. So, it's now or never to do it, to have blueprints continue. Save us GTA 6 if you want someone to step up. You know what? There's no one better in life to step up and take control of a situation than you yourself. I want you to walk into your bathroom and look in the mirror, look at your own face and say, I will take control. And then you're gonna walk back here and you're gonna contribute. Yes. All right, guys, I guess not. This is it. We have like 1 minute left. We have to hit this goal now. I can't stick around. It looks like we're not gonna hit it. It sucks. It sucks. Just updated it. Just updated my stupid camera software. It's saying it needs to be updated again. I just updated it this morning. Okay, I got 2 tips. One is for a penny from a troll. I got a $3 tip. It's just oh, it says let's do this. That's all it says. Let's do this. Thank you for $3. All right, so now with that, we're at 125. We are literally $25 away. This is it. This is it. $25 to hit the goal and continue blueprints. Come on. All right. I'm going to go for 30 more seconds. Let me get a timer. Here, we'll do a timer. Ready? We'll do a timer. How do you do a timer on my phone? I don't know. I don't know how to do a timer. Is this a timer? All right, can we do it? Start. Okay, here we go. It's counting down right now. 56 seconds, 55, 54, 53, 52, 51, 50, 49, 48, 47, 46, 45, 44, 43, 42, 41, 40, 39. This is tiring. 37, 36, 35, 25 bucks. 32, 31, 30 seconds left. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 3, 2, 21, 20, 19, 18. Yeah. Okay, $20 to go. $20 to go. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No. We didn't do it. We didn't do it. No. We didn't do it. Based Out for Real did gift us up. And that got us to 130. But that's it. We ran out of time. Wait, 2 tips just came in. One for $2. A $2 tip. From Only Iced Infinite. $2. So now, we're at 132. And then a $2 tip. Another one. What is the $2? Open your wallets, this person says, for $2. Open your wallets. Guys, we're at 134. We didn't do it. Can you believe it? We got 134 and we didn't make it for blueprints. All that work. This is very exhausting. Why is this so exhausting? Why can't we just hit the goal? Why is it so exhausting? Why? 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 I'm just having too much fun with this, is what it is. I'm having too much fun with it. All that work. Well, hold on. I have to go charge my controller. Hold on. I'm going to turn off my controller and go charge it. We'll see what happens. I received a $2 tip. Come on, $2. Save blueprints, this person says. Another $2 tip. Are you kidding? We are now at 136. What is going on? Come on. All right. Hold on a second. I just received a $16 anonymous tip. 16 bucks. At the same time, a 20 euro super chat just hit from Daniel United 115. So there's a $16 anonymous tip. That gets us to 152. And then there's 20 euros from Daniel United, which is actually the biggest super chat of the day. Which is more than 20, but I'm not going to do the currency conversion. So we actually hit 172 for blueprints. Holy crap. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have done it. We have done it. It was the most exhausting endeavor ever, but we have done it. We hit the goal for Blueprints. Blueprints lives. The prince will never die. The prince will only continue his journey to become the king of the castle. He will get his scepter. He will get his crown. He will get the royal jewels. And he will sit on his throne and see the ending because you supported it. You supported Blueprints, and it will be back next week. Okay, I gotta go. Thank you guys so much. Blueprints will continue next week. Good Lord. Okay, everyone, enjoy the break. Tonight, we got a brand new game. If you want to chill, if you want to relax, if you want to have a great interactive time with me, if you enjoyed those fishing streams that we did a few years ago, I think it was around 3 years ago, was it not? Okay? Tonight, we're doing a brand new game, Cast and Chill. It just came out on Steam today. We played the demo. It was great. We're going to be fishing tonight. You know what? Since you guys keep asking, I'm going to test it right now. You ready? Ready? It actually works. Look, the hat does work. You can see it. this hat works. Yeah. All right, so tonight, join me for Cast and Chill on the late stream here on DSP Gaming. I'll be casting, and we'll try to hook a lunker, if you can make it. All right, that's going to be around 6:45 p.m. Pacific time tonight. All right, come on by for some Cast and Chill. All right, everyone. Enjoy the break. I'll see you tonight for Cast and Chill fun.
Brunch. 90s brunch. In our 90s brunch. Get every
Great place to start. There are low-level enemies in villages.
So DSP had a little crash out today, over Iron Chef Sakai, pocket watching, all sorts of things. He even goes down the list of his kick chatters and lets you know who's been banned and who hasn't.
I need that money. Super Bonchon with the dig at a certain person saying, maybe AI Podcast gifted those subs to fulfill the dying wish of their best friend. Yeah, I know. That was the best one. That, who was it? Was it Void? Because if you look at my overall leaderboard here on Kick, lifetime top gifters, right? Void is currently number 6. And at one point, Void was number 1 for a while. And then ended up dipping a few over time, right? And basically, when people asked him, because apparently he didn't like me, and people were like, well, why did you gift Phil so much? Why did you support his channel so much if you don't like him? And he literally said, oh, it was the dying wish of my best friend to gift Darkside Phil. So everyone's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, you should have just said space aliens made you do it at laser point, you know? Like, that would have made more sense. The Altars is like Fallout Shelter? I don't like the idea of that. But on a big scale with full 3D graphics and in-depth story, maybe you can watch a trailer. Dude, if it's like Fallout Shelter, I'm not playing it. That game's terrible. Fallout Shelter is addictive for the first day you play it. You get addicted to the formula. By day 2, you're already bored. It's the same repetitive shit over and over. Build some rooms, recruit some survivors, send them out on a mission. Do the same, it's the same loop, so it's like so boring. And then the game offers nothing new. It just doesn't ever add anything different. It's just the same boring, repetitive shit. But I tried it. When it was a new game, I tried it for like 2 days. I liked it. And then after that, I was like, what the fuck? That's it? I got so bored, I never played it again. Oh, I totally believe that. The Soctopus says, Iron Chef Sakai has 3 socks in the top 5. Well, he has Iron Chef Sakai. He's got It's a Me Ken. I know those 2 are him, for sure. I don't know if Lance Catamaran is actually him, too. I have no idea who Lance Catamaran is. I don't think Lance Catamaran ever said a word in the chat. But Iron Chef Sakai and It's a Me Ken are definitely the same person. There's not a doubt. That's the same exact person. But man, I'm so disappointed that Dr. Lexus never returned after I dumped the casino. Dr. Lexus never returned to felt me with $220 contributions. He never came back. It's so sad. Because I would love a nice felting from him, especially if it's $220 at a time. No, from what I'm to understand, Dr. Lexus is a legit, like, ginormous whale of the casino. And he came over here to support when I was part of their group. And then the moment that I was done with them and dumped their asses, he freaked out. It's like, well, that's it. I'll never come. He was gone for like a whole week. He came back one more night and claimed, oh, I don't like console wars. You get the reference there. I don't like console wars. I was just away for a week. I was sick. And he dropped a, what was it, 40 something subs. So it equivalent 220 subs, the stupid detractor meme. He dropped that. And then he literally never came back ever again after that. And man, I'm still feeling the sting of the $220. Oh. It hurt so badly when those dollars entered my wallet. Oh, you really got me. That's so funny. Oh my goodness. What happened to my classic laugh? Don't be self-conscious about it. A $2 tip percent. To be honest, would you like to know? I can't do the laugh anymore. When I was younger, you got to keep in mind, I've been making content on the internet now for almost 18 years. You get that? When I was in my 20s, my voice was a lot more high-pitched, okay? And the reason was because I didn't sit around talking nonstop all day, every day, okay? I mean, my office job, I barely talked at all. You know, I sat around data entry and doing stuff. It was like emails, okay? So when I first started on YouTube, I was a younger guy. I had a much high-pitched voice. You remember when I used to sing high-pitched all the time and I could hit all the notes in my older content? I can't do that anymore. Like, my throat has physically changed over the years from talking nonstop. It just, everything's different. The way I sound, the affectations in my voice, my mannerisms, the inflection and tone of my voice, it's all different. And you can't go back, you know what I mean? Like right now, if I tried to hit the high-pitched singing notes, if I tried to laugh high-pitched, I can't do it anymore. So that's all you can do, is just move on with life and accept it. You know, someone who's literally talked all day, every day, that he's worked for the last 14 years, because I started doing this full-time in 2011. That's what happens, man.
What if you can create your own website by saying, this is what I want? With Wix, you can. First up, let's talk about AI color themes. You can get any combos you want, bold and
I received a generous $10 tip here from You're Not Funny. Happy Father's Day to Phil and happy belated birthday to the great Donald Trump. He's having the greatest second act in presidential history. What should I get my father for Father's Day? It's too late. Today is Father's Day. You can't get him anything. You should have done it earlier. It's very disrespectful. But thanks for the tip. Incredibly disrespectful to your father to not do anything earlier than right now, last minute. Unacceptable. Okay. Cydia says, do you feel like you're the unwilling villain of a streaming world? One day when you're long and gone, maybe a documentary will be made about how you were actually based. I'm literally not a villain to anything. I want you to think about it this way, all right? A villain is usually someone who's through their heinous actions hurt others, and therefore, that's why they're seen as a negative presence. I want you to ask you a question. Who do I hurt every day when I turn on a stream and I play games? Who do I hurt when I turn on a stream and I hang out with people and I talk and we have a good time, and then people willingly support my content? Who am I hurting? Am I making slanderous, defamatory content that could hurt other people's reputations and bring them down and ruin them? No. Am I shilling stuff to you that's low-quality garbage, but I'm making you spend your hard-earned money on junk so I can get ahead? No. Am I misrepresenting the games I'm playing to make you buy stuff so that I'll make money and get ahead? No. The stuff that I do is actually completely, definitively helping people, because you're either getting entertainment out of it, you're getting informed, or let's face it, you're one of the many leeches of a giant ecosystem that suck on me every day to actually make content for a content mill. Because that's what it is. It's the Darksideville content mill every day. So literally my very existence on the internet is a positive, beneficial thing. There's no way you could ever spin me into being a villain unless you could lie so that you can make more content for your content mill, by which you're actually getting positive stuff out of it, in which case I still can't be a villain. Just by its very nature, the nonsense that these people spout proves that I'm not a villain. But the bottom line is the people who watch that stuff are too dumb. I mean, these are the biggest mouth-drooling dunces of the planet. These are not fucking intelligent people. These are people who just sit around and want to be part of drama for drama's sake. Not because it's true, but because they get their jollies off being a part of something on the internet, which is really dumb. Groupthink mentality from a sheep, a mindless mule, right? So, yeah, there's absolutely no way that I could ever be spun as a legit villain. Masillenman says the DLC is 15 to 20 hours, but you would have to add more time. There's tons of people who have detractor groups. The problem is, for me, the detractor group, all right, has found a way to definitively bank off of me, and therefore there is so many of these leech losers, right, that it's hard for the positive community to maintain itself and not be affected negatively by the things that they do. I don't give a shit about the detractor communities around me at all. I just wish they would leave us alone. Leave me and my genuine fans and viewers alone and out of your shit. You could easily stay in your circle and make fun of me every day and still make bank and not have to harass the positive people around here, but they don't. They go too far. When you're someone, for example, like you brought up Asmongold. Asmongold is insanely huge, okay? To the point where it doesn't matter how many detractors he has, he's immune. Same thing with PewDiePie back in the day. Do you remember PewDiePie definitely had detractors, right? But the thing was, he was so big that it didn't matter that he had detractors. He had way too many positive people, you know what I mean? And to some extent, that was me back in the day. If you remember when I first started and I was getting popularity, there was detractors back then. Remember DSP Cult Leader, who in the first year that I was making videos, this was before I was making money doing it. I didn't even monetize my content. DSP Cult Leader was saying I was trying to build up a cult of kids to follow me and do my bidding so that in life I could basically be well off. I'll ask upon them to help me in the future. And you know what I'm saying? Like I was conditioning these kids to be my slaves for the rest of my life. But back then everyone laughed at the detractors and said, you know, what are you, crazy? Like, what are you, stupid? Phil is just a guy who loves to play games. He's just making silly videos. He's not even taking it seriously. How could you even say dumb shit like that? Today, if someone came out as DSP Cult Leader, they'd have 100,000 subs. They'd make $10,000 a month making that kind of content about me because people are that dumb on the internet. They're actually that fucking stupid. They like that content for some reason.
Welcome to the Americas. 5 years on 180 expeditions.
Yeah, and that's the thing, Archmage. I'm not going to be doing politics like that. Like, I tried DS Politics. It didn't work. Within a month, people didn't care about it anymore. So, been there, done that, and now we're going to be focusing on gaming moving forward, which works. That's my forte. That's what people are here for, right? That's what's bringing the butts to seats, and that's what's bringing the support. I think people really appreciated when I said I would back away from the drama stuff and instead focus on the things that are positive that I'm good at and doesn't hurt anyone, right? So, there you have it. Me doing the gameplay has worked. If you haven't noticed, since I've refocused on solely gameplay, things are going well. Guitar Player says the trolls know if you stop making videos today, they would go away. Well, first what would happen, let's say, for example, I cold turkey quit. First what would happen is they'd try to find out anything they possibly could, all right, about me and my private life. They would try to stalk and harass, because they do it now anyway. But if I don't have a public-facing side and they no longer have a content mill, Now they've got to try to find out whatever they can, right? And I likely would end up getting harassed behind the scenes. They try to mess with me as much as they possibly could and make content out of that. But after a while, you're right, that would just die out. It would be like, well, the shtick of Phil, you know, it's not a big shtick anymore because he's not on the internet anymore. So then they would have to try to move on and do other stuff, you know. I feel like what would happen is for a while, I'm not even kidding, like let's say like a 5-year period, they would probably just go back and watch all my old content, micro-analyze it, explain why it was all horribly wrong and terrible content, right? Like that's the thing. I've been on the internet now for 18 years. There is so much content of me, they could go back and look at the old stuff and analyze that. Today they're analyzing the new stuff, but they could easily go back and analyze the old stuff for a long time. But eventually it would die out, you would think, but maybe not. These people, you have to understand that these people are actually nuts. This isn't, oh, I just like to laugh at a meme. These people are genuinely obsessed with toxic memes to the point where that's their whole existence. They get up in the morning and that's what they're thinking about. Gee, let me jump on my Discord and talk with people about it. Let me jump on a Restreamer and watch them restream Phil all day. Let's then go to X and post about it. Then let's go to a Reddit thread. Then let's go to Kiwi Farms. Oh wait, Phil's online again. Let's watch another Restreamer. Oh, I'll go to bed thinking about it. This is their life. It's insane obsession. That's not regular human existence or thought. That's something snapped and broken and disconnected in their brains. And there's thousands of people like this all over the planet. They've all found each other in this sick community online. Instead of seeking help, which would have been talk to a friend or a family member, explain their mania, their obsession, which they've been told, no, this is insane and unhealthy. Stop, get a life, get a job, get real friends, get what you need to get you out of this obsession. They don't do that. They just sit online habitually every day, 24/7. They are actually the real life basement dweller, only it may not even be in a basement. They're just a shut-in who sits in a fucking room all day obsessing over me. Get it? And then if I were to go away, they might literally just still keep going. Go back to the old content, talk about this old thing, try to find out what happened to Phil now that he's not making content anymore, harass him, and they probably would keep going. They're just insane. And until someone actually exposes these things and calls it out for what it is, you get people like the Duties, right? The raw Phils, the people who actually abuse that shit for personal gain. But I'm the villain, but they're the ones who literally are exploiting mentally ill people on a daily basis for personal gain and don't give a shit about any repercussions that it could affect them, it could affect those people, it could affect me. They don't care. As long as they're making money, right? They're okay with it. And the moment they stop making money, they disappear. No, I'm just tired of talking about the nonsense. I don't care anymore. You see, it doesn't affect me. That's the other thing that's hilarious. There's an entire weirdo community around me that doesn't affect me. You get it? Like, I sit here and I just make my content every day, regardless of any of it. I pay no attention to any of it. I don't know what they're talking about. The only time I even know there's a meme is because some idiots will come in the chat and spam it 100 times, so I know there's a new meme now, you know? But it doesn't affect me, did you notice? I've paid absolutely no attention to any of this crap.
Yes, it actually is possible to eat healthy and still have a life.
Factor has made the biggest difference in how...
It doesn't affect me at all. I just keep pushing forward, making my content for my audience, and that's all it is, you know? No, I actually think that they're obsessed with each other. They're not obsessed. Like someone says, LTG thinks that his detractors are gay for him. Do you think that your detractors are like, no, I don't believe that at all. At all. I think that they're more obsessed with each other and the content makers are the ones that these people get obsessed with, not me. They're not obsessed. They're obsessed with making toxic content about me. They're not obsessed with me like that. No, absolutely not. I don't believe that. What do you mean? Based off of Real says he's noticed a difference in Smart Guy's ending. What do you mean by that? What I've noticed is, as long as I stick to my own stuff, I'm doing consistent content, I'm keeping it fresh, I'm listening to ideas of things you guys want to do, whether it's games or like this meal accessory trip or whatever it is, right? As long as I'm listening and we're making more content, we're good, right? That's it. It doesn't matter. I don't need anyone. I don't need a boost from anyone. We're still doing fine. You know, is it absolutely every single stream I'm hitting a goal? No. And I don't think that's ever going to happen, you know. That the only way for me to every single stream be hitting a support goal would be to like have some kind of a crazy outside influence bringing newcomers to come support me. But that's never going to last. It's always going to be a short-term thing, and then it's kind of back to, you know, what I'm good at. And I've been doing really good. So, you know, like I said, I haven't been affected negatively by any of this crap. It's all existing around me. I'm at the center. I'm at the eye of the storm. The storm exists around me, but I don't pay attention to it, and it's I'm good because of that. And here's the other thing these idiots don't realize too. Like, one of them is in the chat and kick right now and just said, here's to hoping you never hit more than 3 goals in a row ever again. That's what he just said. All right? So I want you to think about this. This person just actively, publicly said, the detractors hope you will never hit more than 3 goals in a row again. Well, ladies and gentlemen, starting right now, let's hit more than 3 goals in a row to show these fuck faces that they don't affect me, because they don't, right? They don't. We're already on the way to the goal. Tonight we're doing Truck Sim. Tomorrow let's hit it with Blueprints. Yes, with Blueprints. Let's hit a goal with Cast and Chill. Let's prove them wrong. Let's get this going and show them that there is success in being positive, not being a toxic piece of garbage who brings down others around you so you can step on them to get ahead. Not that someone who lies and cheats and shills and basically makes sure that everyone else, again, has to suffer so that you can be successful. You don't need that to happen to be successful in life. Now, you may be taking the harder path. You may be taking the tougher route. It may be that you have to work harder than everyone else, that you have to suffer a little bit more and be a little bit more stressed than everyone else to do it, but you can still do it. And then you can actually sleep at night because you're not a scumbag who tried to ruin everyone around you for your own personal gain. Okay. All right. Well, guys, thank you for the early support. Seriously, that's
Could
Autism O Gaming. You might want to change that name. I'm just saying, so people might find that offensive. Even if you actually are autistic, that could be seen as offensive. I'm just throwing that out there. And by the way, I'm going to say this outright. There's absolutely nothing wrong with people who are autistic. I know many people who are autistic. All right, and they're perfectly normal, fine, good, positive people.
There's nothing wrong with this at all. Viking asks if I'm autistic. Of course, you didn't know? You can't tell?
Did you want to talk about oppositional defiance disorder in ASD?
Yes, specifically because I believe Phil also exhibits oppositional defiance disorder constantly for his entire life. So absolutely. Oppositional defiant disorder, or ODD, is a behavioral disorder characterized by a persistent pattern of uncooperative, defiant, and hostile behaviors toward authority figures. These behaviors, often manifested as arguing, refusing to comply, and deliberate attempts to annoy others, can significantly impact a child's daily functioning. ODD is typically diagnosed in childhood and can persist into adolescence and adulthood. If you want an example of ODD, think King Cobra JFS.
Stupid fucking liar. Fuck you! Stupid fucking liar. Hey, liar. Fuck you. Oh, you don't like being beat up? You don't like it? You don't like it? You don't fucking like it? Then maybe you shouldn't fucking go against the grain.
Back to the conversation.
So how does that relate? How does oppositional defiance disorder relate to autism, Anna?
So there are kind of two ways to look at it. Like, first of all the sort of neurodevelopmental condition, it's quite rare for them to exist in isolation. You know, when you kind of take a neurodivergent person, it's statistically much more likely that they will have autism and ADHD, autism and dyspraxia, you know, ADHD and oppositional defiance disorder. So we have this long list of different neurodevelopmental conditions, and they often coexist. So, you know, that's one thing. You know, statistically, it will be likely, you know, to have people who have both autism and oppositional defiance disorder.
Okay.
The other kind of way of looking at it, there is a specific, let's say, subtype of autism when people have particular challenges around external demands. It's called pathological demand avoidance.
Okay.
You know, it's maybe not a nice way to describe it, call it in pathological, but, you know, that's strictly speaking the name. And, you know, basically people who have this difficulty with demands, this pathological demand avoidance, they will go to extreme lengths to avoid the demand. And that can lead to a lot of challenging behaviors. And that's where there will be an overlap between what you see in oppositional defiance disorder versus what you see in the pathological demand avoidance. So you would really need to drill into, you know, what is the purpose of the challenging behavior that you're observing? You know, is it, you know, because the person is not comfortable with authority and they want to kind of, you know, exert their power and sort of, you know, be defiant? Or is it more that they are really uncomfortable with the demand that is being put on them and they will go to any length to avoid that demand? The demand often comes from people who are in positions of authority in one shape or form, because, you know, those are the people who can make demands. So it can be a little bit, you know, kind of challenging to really drill into it and make a decision, you know, which one is it?
Can it be a comfort issue? Because that's what I see a lot in Phil. Even the most innocuous demands that his audience may make of him, or just other people around him, he'll just say, no, we're not, I'm not doing that, despite it being a very simple demand and would benefit him. Would you say that it does come back to comfort?
It doesn't matter if it benefits you.
Okay.
The problem is it's an external demand. Probably my husband would laugh at that because I have a bit of an issue of it, and, you know, the automatic response to any question and anything he asks me to do is no. And it's almost, I don't even process it.
Okay.
You know, I sort of hear it coming and it's coming at me as an external demand. I don't in that moment evaluate, you know, is that a reasonable request? Is it going to be of mutual benefit? Is it even just going to be for my benefit? Oh no, an external demand has just landed. So I need to kind of, you know, avoid it, and I'm going to say no. So now he sort of, you know, often waits a little bit, and, you know, after that automatic no, my higher brain function will hopefully kick in, and I will, you know, process it all a little bit more and be like, okay, actually, what is being proposed here is very reasonable.
That's
I shall
very
go
interesting.
ahead with it.
That's
but yeah, it's that very primitive brain and that sense of danger that demand has hit. Gotta defend. And the easiest way to defend is just to say, no, I'm not doing it.
okay. Interesting. So it's as though it bypasses the cognitive process, and it's just a no. It's just an automatic no. Then, if I'm understanding,
It's just how quick it comes out. So I don't know if it's the same for Phil.
Okay,
But
okay.
that's for me, it's
Interesting.
just the no just comes from my mouth before I even have a chance to think it through.
and
He's nodding now.
I'm a layman. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm just an asshole on the internet when it comes down to it. But I see that in Phil because he will immediately, in less than a second, just say, no, we're not doing that.
A $2 tip. Someone wants me to say a phrase with a specific name in it, but I don't want to say it because I don't know who the person is, and it might be insulting or it might be something toxic, and I'm not going to do it. No, I don't just want to say stuff out loud and then end up, like, insulting someone. No, see, this is where I don't want to do anything like this yet, because now I'm being asked, hey, Phil, would you consider counting contributions from Kick during your YouTube stream? And no. Can we stop? Let's everyone stop right now, all right? Because already, this is getting ridiculous. When I'm streaming on Kick, contributions will be for the Kick stream. When I'm streaming on YouTube, contributions will be for YouTube. If I'm streaming on both with a co-stream, then we'll count everything. I'm not going to be, oh, well, Phil, weren't you aware that over on your Kick stream, someone contributed something, so you should be counting it for your YouTube stream? And Phil, you're on Kick, but someone just did a super chat on YouTube, you should count it. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. I'm sorry. We're just not doing that. It's going to be too messy, too complicated, and I'm not going to be monitoring 17 stuff at once. If I'm restreaming and I have one central place to monitor everything, that's a different story, right? But I'm definitely not going to be doing that. That's ridiculous. I can't even look at my Kick stream. I'll be playing a game.
Then I guess hindsight's 50-50, because as we know now, at the time of this video, he counts everything everywhere. Back to the conversation. And he won't give any sort of rational explanation. He'll just say, no, we won't do that. Then he'll wait a few seconds, and then he'll say, well, we can't do that because of the schedule, because of 5 other things. And then a few months later, he'll do it. He'll go and he'll do the thing after he's thought about it for months. We've seen this a million times with direct capture.
I never thought about that before.
Right.
That's mind-blowing.
Right. We've seen this. We've seen a million examples of it. He'll say no, and then eventually he'll come around and he'll do the thing months, sometimes years later. So I don't even really think there's any sort of expectation to when someone will come around. Anna, it sounds like you go through that process relatively quickly, but Phil, I think he'll just sit with something, and then 2 years later he'll decide to do it. It's very strange.
Of procrastination and autism and a kind of general executive dysfunction, and procrastination is one example of that. Just how long is it going to take you to kind of decide on doing something, first of all, thinking how you're gonna do it, and then actually turning those thoughts into action.
Okay.
It is a very, very common problem, amongst autistic people to struggle with that. Again, they're having very tight schedules and routines really helps with that because it removes a lot of the cognitive load. Like for example, I wear pretty much the same clothes every day because that makes my morning easier because I don't have to make the decision. What am I gonna wear?
Of course.
They're not the same clothes, Logan. They're the same style of clothes.
Okay. Yeah.
He's not wearing the same crusty clothes 7 days a week.
Thank you for clarifying
Thank you
that.
for clarification.
I assumed that, but it's the internet, so you have to be very specific. But yeah,
it just removed that cognitive load of making a decision. Food is another thing. Kind of sticking to eating pretty much the same things. It's very common in autism because you don't have to make a choice. You just kind of eat the same thing. So when you get a hunger signal, you just eat the same thing.
Can I just jump in?
Of course.
Remember last night or the night before when Phil was looking at the English food and he was talking about bangers and mash in disgust?
Right.
Yeah, they got the bangers and mash. 2 Irish sausages served on a bed of mashed potatoes and gravy topped with caramelized onions. That looks so weird. Oh no. Dude, that looks so weird. Bangers and mash looks really bizarre, man. Oh, it looks like they're like shriveled, ugh.
That's an example. Like, I can't envisage him eating bangers and mash a lot. I've never seen him eat bangers and mash. So, you know, that's one example of his immediate disgust at new food. And you could see that with the snack boxes that he got. Some of the Japanese snacks, immediate disgust as soon as he picked them out of the box.
Yeah, it's
And
like
also-
he'll judge something before he even really touches it or tastes it or
Yes.
smells it, just because he says, this doesn't look right to me, I don't want it.
Yes, pretty much. I want to loop back eating on stream.
Yes.
You think about his viewers being exactly like Philip and eating on stream. My wife told me something last week that blew my mind. I just wanted to blow your mind as well.
So, you know, this, you know, kind of watching people eating, it's a common thing in an autistic community, and it kind of has, you know, different functions for different people. One of the functions is the sensory element, you know, like people actually enjoy, you know, it's kind of the sounds and the looking at the food and the whole kind of experience of it. So it's a popular content. The other part of it is many autistic people don't feel very hungry. You know, there is that problem with technical term for it is interoception. So being able to appreciate the signals coming from your own body and kind of recognize, you know, when you are feeling tired, when you are feeling hungry. When you are never feeling hungry, you know, eating becomes difficult. You know, like usually we do recognize that you need to eat to survive. So we will have different strategies to sort of boost the appetite. You know, if it's time for eating, but I'm not feeling hungry, I haven't eaten, you know, the whole day. How am I gonna make that eating process easier? And watching a video of somebody eating sort of stimulates that hunger and appetite in some autistic people. So that would be another reason, you know, for them to seek out those videos of, you know, people eating. And, you know, if you have your streamer that you enjoy watching anyway, you know, doing videos of eating, you know, that is perfect because it's a familiar content that you're already enjoying, and he's doing something that you actually need to be doing, you know, kind of require, you know, a video of somebody eating, like absolutely perfect.
Right. Well, I think I know of at least one person that has commented to him in chat and has sort of bugged him and said, when are we eating the pizza? I want to order pizza so I can eat with you.
Could I have my feast at lunch so in Europe people can attempt to eat with me? I mean, I eat early. I eat relatively early for Americans. Usually Americans eat dinner around between like 7 to 9 p.m. I eat my dinner between 4 and 5 p.m. So I eat way earlier than most people. If you actually do the math, I guess it's a 7-hour time difference between that and like Europe. So you would be able to eat, I guess you'd have to just have a late dinner if you wanted to eat with me or whatever. But I don't, you know, no, I'm not going to be eating like super early.
I'm not eating pizza today. Someone says they got pizza to eat with me today. I'm not eating pizza today. We're going to do it tomorrow.
And I feel like that particular person probably either was LARPing, or maybe just has autism. Because I believe people find him very comforting, especially if you're neurodivergent or on the spectrum in some way. So I think what we're kind of getting to with this conversation is he is cultivating a neurodivergent audience, which is something we've always talked about, but I think he is, whether he knows it or not, targeting a very specific kind of viewer.
Can I chime in again?
Of course.
I'm going to say something that's going to be controversial.
Okay.
I believe that there is an element of neurodivergency in the detractor community.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think that's controversial at all. Actually,
I think some people would probably get offended if you told them that they were neurodivergent. And I think the LARPing, especially in the kick chat, sort of muddies the waters in some ways. It's not a natural. See, I like natural Phil. I like natural Phil. I don't like it when people are baiting him, when people are creating situations. I like natural Phil, and I think a lot of damage has been done in the past and is being done in regards to LARPing, especially in the kick chat. The kick chat is, I'm convinced, 98% LARPers.
Oh, absolutely.
With 2% genuine fans, and I really do think it muddies the waters, and it sometimes makes it very difficult for me to sort of string together these videos when it's an unnatural fermentation, when things are being forced. I'd just like to add that into the conversation. I think LARPing as a whole is very damaging. But I can understand why people do it.
Yeah, I agree. I think LARPing can be fun, but in terms of looking at Phil and having to sit through his streams, I think it wastes a lot of time because it derails him, it distracts him, it gets him even further away from the point than he already was, which can be funny at times, but if you're coming from your perspective as someone who likes to watch Phil and look at his neurodivergence, it really, really hinders that, because a lot of times you just want to sort of watch the content and take it in, but the LARPers are poking him in a way that's kind of altering the study if you look at it as a study. You know what I mean?
You can even add on to that. Phil doesn't show a functional understanding of what's going on in the kick chat.
Right.
You look at some of the names of some of the people that haven't been banned and have been in there for months getting free gifted memberships off the genuine fans. You know, any sort of neurotypical person would be thinking, that's a detractor name. I need to get rid of that person. They're not in here for my benefit, they're in here for their benefit. And it's not just one name. It's not just 5 names. It's literally most of kick chat that hasn't been banned yet, and they've been there for months. And the fact that Phil doesn't get that tells me that his understanding of the social cues and his own thoughts and feelings are like alexithymia and mind blindness. It just shows me there is a major deficit there. There was a
LARPer in YouTube chat. I don't know if he's still in there, but you can see him in a lot of detractor chats as well. But there was a LARPer in YouTube chat for years called Now Guys, and that's a very obvious one that he just kind of ignored.
Yes, and Phil doesn't get it.
Yeah.
He doesn't get it. He's never shown any inkling that he gets it. If you can show me one moment in time where he's purposely gone out of his way to call out somebody's name that's been a regular person in the chat for months,
right?
And he's shown insight into that person having a detractor name, I will eat my hat.
Like he calls out a guy called Dunsfelter.
Thank you for taking care of that moron, Dunsfelter. Appreciate that.
Dunsfelter is obviously a detractor name. What are you doing?
He doesn't understand the nuance.
Yes.
It's sort of like a lot of neurodivergent people within autism do not get humor, and I think sometimes humor's quite a frightening concept.
So I'm listening to this conversation, and I think I kind of have two things to add.
Sure.
One is, that kind of being naive and not really picking up on all those kind of social cues and, taking things at face value, which this is like a massive thing of, kind of general autistic communication style and, how we are. You just say what you think, there's no reading between the lines. If you dislike somebody, you are gonna tell them. If you like them, you are gonna tell them. Things are not necessarily subtle. The ability to read between the line, that is a very high level of kind of communication and cognitive skill that most autistic people don't have. So you're kind of thinking black and white, and you just, take it as it's given. Not all this kind of sarcasm and nuance and things that may be going behind, a message, something is being said, but the meaning is actually something very different. So, that's one part of it. The other part of it is, like Phil is creating content. What people are gonna do with that content, does it matter? If the tractors are getting, entertainment and, some of their needs are being met by this content, why does it matter? I'm sorry, but some needs of the detractors must be met by watching those videos, because you guys seem to be spending an awful lot of time, watching and analyzing and talking about this content.
Yes, I would say that this practice in and of itself can be considered autistic in a lot of ways.
It meets many kind of facets of a special interest. So, like no criticism of anybody, but I think that needs to be put out there. And it will be the same, with the autistic audience.
Yes.
Why is it the problem that you guys are there in the chat and having a good time in your own way?
Right.
We are not necessarily possessive, of each other, those kind of transactional friendships. It's free for all, you can be friends with many people, you can, share those relationships. So, why not share Phil with, this large body of detractors who he seems to be enjoying, watching the videos so much for their own reasons.
And to be fair, sorry, Logan.
Sure.
I just want to make this point very quickly. To be fair, Kino Casino half-heartedly tried to get the detractors on board by starting the wrestling show.
They did?
Now, I'm not sure how accurate that's going to be considering what's gone down this week. I know PPP might change his story a little bit or whatever. It's neither here nor there.
Uh-huh.
But the fact that they tried that to get to monetize the detractors in not a positive way, but in a way that we could partake in the content as well, just goes to speak to that fact. But obviously the wheels have fallen off as they always do when Phil has to liaise with people.
Yep.
Because he has no interpersonal skills whatsoever.
Exactly. And that's another thing we can talk about. He doesn't know how to network. He doesn't know how to maintain even a working relationship for content, because there's people I'm on varying terms with in the detractor community. Some people I talk to quite a bit, some people I collaborate with, and other people are more like, acquaintances. DSP, I don't think, makes any distinction between the differing levels of relationship or friendship you can have. And I think he has trouble understanding that Kino Casino were buddy trolls to him, because they were trolls to him. Like, they wanted to help him, but only in service of seeing what happened and making content out of him. And
it was just some light razzing.
Yes.
Started off as a bit of light razzing.
And now
there we go.
Gonna spit roast this
My mic. That piece of shit. No. What an ass.
He's a bum.
Dude, do you know how hard?
An ungrateful beggar bum.
Do you know how hard it was for me to hold it in? Every time he's in chat, hey, and I thought we were being obvious. Eh?
Yeah.
I thought we were being like as obvious as possible.
No, I mean we were like literally trying to get rid of him.
Fuck.
It's like when you like throw it. What's that scene where they throw the rocks at the dog at Old Yeller to make him go away?
Yes.
Or some shit like this. It's like, go. We don't want you here.
Bro.
You fucking son. It's outright insulting him to his face. Oh, he just couldn't get the memo. He just couldn't get the message
and there's a big
that we didn't want anything to do with this boring fucking ass. But it was beyond how boring he was, how worthless he was.
Beyond that.
The lack of content, the lack of gratitude, how draining he was, how negative it was. It was that Phil's gay!
And it struck me very much what I used to see in the schoolyard or on the playground when bullies would kind of befriend an autistic child and kind of make them do things to laugh at them, which is exactly what they were doing with Phil. And PPP came out the last 2 nights and said as much. That's exactly what he was trying to do. He was trying to build Phil up, but it was to serve in purpose of entertainment. So
it from an autistic perspective, where the communication is usually straightforward, people kind of think what they say. It can be really tricky to distinguish between somebody who genuinely wants to be your friend versus somebody who is very skilled at pretending to be your friend for some sort of nefarious hidden purposes. that you really need to kind of, uncover. So I think that kind of becoming a victim of bullying, or we call it, mate crime even, when people are, in kind of taken advantage of in various way under the guise of that person is my friend. That is very, very common, unfortunately, when it comes to autistic people and those kind of interactions with the wider world.
Yes, because I find that they tend to take everything a friend, in quotes, tells them at face value. Which is...
Why would you lie to your friends? Unless
exactly.
you have a very good reason?
Exactly. It gets back to what we said, when we started the call, is that Phil, like a lot of people on the spectrum, would say, why would these people lie to me? They have no reason to, or if they did, they must have a good reason to. So.
But you can also flip that around and look at Phil and what PPP's now saying regarding some of the DMs and about Cat shouting at him.
Right.
So Phil's been oversharing this highly sensitive information to people who he believes are his friends. He can't mentally articulate and understand that they're there to build him up so that he provides content.
Right.
It worked! Glorious victory! What a read. Guys, you all said he was retarded.
I'm so happy. Oh man, it was too good. Because the best part of it all is I wasn't gonna leak those DMs.
Well, because it's like,
that's why I played this whole game where I threatened him. I'm gonna do it. And I'm like going after him in the DMs. You've crossed the line now, Phil. And he did it to himself.
Stupid. He's so stupid.
He did it to himself. All the blood is on his hands now.
What? He faked cancer.
He faked cancer.
His wife having cancer?
That's his defense. Either she actually does have cancer, in which case he poured his heart out to a fucking 400-pound fat troll online. Please care about me. My wife's dying. Or, more likely, he lied about cancer.
Phil's gone in 100% thinking they're his friends. He's given PPP and Andy dynamite in the DMs, which will get leaked. I'm 100% positive they're going to get leaked. And Phil's just sat there friendless, and he's given all this dynamite in the DMs.
And oversharing, it's such a common thing with autistic people. It's a big vulnerability because, we assume that other people are honest and everything is on face value, and also that difficulty distinguishing, who is just an acquaintance versus who is your real friend. So, who, you are going to talk about, really personal and intimate and sensitive stuff with versus like, oh, this is just an acquaintance, I kind of stick to, certain topics and not go into my really personal stuff. Making that distinction can be extremely hard. Within an autistic community, we often, share, pretty personal things, with each other, and that concept of oversharing, it's not necessary, it does not necessarily exist or it's causing danger, as long as, everybody is kind of open and honest and it's not gonna kind of misuse that information, the oversharing is not a problem. Everybody has an access to the same data. That's what we like. Everybody has exactly the same information. We're on the same page. Yes. Data has been shared, but that obviously can backfire if somebody is then gonna take your data to kind of do nefarious things with it.
I think if you jump in, the times it becomes a problem for Phil are when people go above what's legally acceptable and morally acceptable, like bank leaks.
Yeah, bank leaks, they're out there, but that was not an acceptable thing to do.
I agree with that, and the swatting as well. I don't think that's acceptable. So like, when those things happen, it becomes a problem for Phil. But thinking about it and looking back to what I do, I've occasionally lurked in his kick chat. I'm not going to deny that.
I did the same thing, yeah.
But I'm not doing anything. I wasn't giving him money. I wasn't overtly attacking him. I was joining in the lab. So that's the extent of what I've done. I don't think that affects him.
Right, and most of what I do is I just comment on him, mostly just from a commentary or communication perspective, because I am fascinated by the way this man communicates, or his lack of communication, I should say. That's why I do a lot of the things that I do with him, because I think he's so odd in how he presents himself, how he carries himself. But as you say, if you look at him through the lens of autism, it all makes sense.
Yeah, I heard that sometimes people are wondering, is he like a narcissist or is it autism? Because people can see there's something odd about how he's interacting with others, and they're kind of looking at those different labels and which one fits best. And that sort of links with that manipulation, for example. Manipulation would be a common kind of way of interacting that you would see in people who have a narcissistic personality disorder. To be a successful manipulator, you need to have a very good theory of mind and an excellent ability to shift perspective in order to know, what you need to do to influence the behavior of the other person and to get them to do what you want them to do, essentially. So be like a bit of a puppet master.
Right.
So, to be able to successfully manipulate other people, it's a skill. It requires quite a lot of, cognitive ability and, that kind of reading into other people, what makes them tick, which buttons to press. I really don't think Phil is that skilled. So, when we are kind of, he does something like brings, let's say his wife, and we are wondering, is that manipulation or is it just him oversharing? I would probably be leaning towards the oversharing,
right,
because I don't see any evidence from, the bits that I have seen of him having that level of kind of cognitive ability and interpersonal skills to be able to manipulate others, in that way. And to kind of use it as, this is how I'm gonna get sympathy, yes, this is the whole strategy, and kind of plan it through and execute it, kind of pretty quickly and effectively. It just does not seem like Phil to me, to be honest.
I think in a way it can be both, because I agree that he's not that smart. I'll be the first person to tell you he's not a master manipulator by any stretch, but I think on a long enough timeline, he's understood what words he needs to say and the things he needs to talk about in order to get money. I think that's why years and years and years ago, things like him bringing up his internet bill, his electric bill, his mortgage, and all of that, he knew those things worked. I don't think he quite understood why, but he knew they got him some money, so he did them.
If you would like to do me a favor and help out more, please tip me. I'm not saying you have to tip at all. I'm not saying that I'm expecting anything above and beyond what normally would happen on my normal streams, okay, or my normal content, nor am I asking for that. What I'm saying is, right now, I need funds to do things in the short term. And as much as I appreciate people who have been coming to the streams and supporting in various different ways, for example, I've noticed in the last week or two, there's been some people who've been gifting a lot of memberships, people who've been coming and doing super chats. That's all great, and that's going to help me in the long term, and I'm really appreciative of that. This is going to actually grow the channel, which is the point. So what I've been trying to do in the last year is grow DSP Gaming, rebrand it, try to get some constant growth on it, and this is all a big positive of that, all right? But short term, in this next week, I need help with tips, because that's funds I can use immediately to pay these bills and then afford to have a day off next week, all right? Now, excuse me. Undoubtedly, idiots will spin it in negative ways. I don't care what they say. They can go fuck themselves. They have nothing to do with anything here on my streams, all right? I am not trying to ask anyone for anything extra. What I'm saying is, if you were already going to support these streams over the weekend, please tip if you can, all right? Because I need to get past these two big bills, and then afford my day off this week, and then we're in the clear, all right? So that's all I'm saying. Thank you in advance to anyone who does that. I will have to mention this every once in a while, because I know what'll happen is, undoubtedly, as the stream starts with gameplay and everything, you're going to see people jumping on who weren't here at this segment. And so it is what it is. Of course, again, this will be spun in a negative way, saying that, oh, he's talking about it all the time or whatever. I don't care. I don't care about any of these idiots or what they say. Please understand, you can just disregard everything that they've ever said. They're all worthless people. Okay.
And for a while, in this more recent time with Kino Casino, flippantly begging and sort of giving his viewers negative attention for not giving him money has worked. So he's still doing that. So I think he understands what works sometimes, but he doesn't understand why, if that makes sense.
That kind of monetary exchange is such a big part of both his routines and, what is important for him to get out of what he's doing.
Right.
He spends an awful lot of time on it. So, with a lot of kind of practice, this is gonna be like a stronger skill. So I think I completely agree with you that he was able to work out, by that kind of repetition and a try and error, which sort of behavior it's gonna link, to more, kind of monetary input.
Right.
But that does not necessarily mean that he's, particularly skilled in kind of like, what people are doing, why they are doing it, what sort of emotional response has led to them, giving me money. I think it's much more simplistic.
Mm-hmm.
I do wonder whether he collects any data on, kind of what he's getting every day in terms of that kind of, money that it's coming in. And if there is, some sort of, I have shown this video, or I have done, particularly intense begging at this part of the schedule.
Right.
And that seems to be, increasing the kind of return at the end of the day, kind of getting the data in and figuring out, what is going to be your kind of next step to achieve your goal. If it's his job, the purpose is to create the content to then get a monetary return. So it makes perfect sense to me. If you are going to be good at your job, you need to kind of, practice it, and so you need to perfect it in some shape or form and try to do more of what is working. And I guess that's a different with a hobby, because with a hobby, you may just experiment and just do, whether it works or it doesn't, you just kind of do. But if it's your job, then you will, you're supposed to do more of what's actually working, isn't it?
Yes. That being said, I don't think he uses hard data, quite honestly. I think he sort of just goes day by day. He has about a 1 to 2 day memory. Because he'll be talking about, this thing worked yesterday, or it worked earlier this week. Why isn't it working now? And then he sort of just moves on to the next thing. It may work for a few days, and then he'll do it again. So I don't.
And that may link to why he's having
complicated.
so many money problems, and like generally, having some input-output issues, and
Right.
ending up in debt, and like that kind of lack of skill around that.
Have you spoken about the WWE Champions addiction?
Oh, we haven't covered that yet. We're just talking about the narcissism versus
you know what?
and manipulation.
But we're talking about him having a money problem, so I think we could get into it. This is a question that I would ask. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. Go on.
This is a question that I would ask. Do you think people on the spectrum specifically are susceptible to certain, shall we say, dark patterns in things like mobile games, where if you give us this many coins, you'll get this rare thing? Would they be susceptible to those type of gambling behaviors?
Oh, Logan, you sweet summer child. Go on.
I think
Absolutely.
I already know the answer, but I'm asking the question for the content. Yes.
It's a massive issue, and it's almost it starts on biochemical level, and how kind of dopamine works on the brain, and how there are those kind of differences between neurodivergent brains. It will be both autism and ADHD that tends to be impacted by that.
Okay.
That's having those difficulties on biochemical level that make people more susceptible to addiction. I think where it comes, with autism, it's a repetition and routine. So, very quickly, you get into those patterns of, you are kind of opening the boxes and you are clicking on something and you are getting a reward. So you are kind of getting that dopamine boost.
Right.
And before you know it, that becomes part of your daily thing that you do, very kind of entrenched. It's self-reinforcing because every time you open this loot box or whatever it may be, you'll get some form of a dopamine hit, The problem with it is that the reinforcement varies between the boxes. So, sometimes you get a small reward, sometimes you get a very big reward.
Right.
The chances of getting a big reward are fairly small, but it happens often enough to still act as that reinforcer, to kind of get people stuck in the pattern, because next time you click it, you may get, the bigger reward. But even if you don't get a bigger reward, you are still getting something. Like, note with most of those mobile games, it's not like you're opening a box after box and there's absolutely nothing in them. There's always some form of reward. It's just sort of varies in size. Sometimes I do genuinely wonder whether the people who actually designed, this whole kind of model, have they thought about, okay, the neurodivergent people are massive online users. They are more kind of, online. There's an awful lot of them and they are kind of susceptible to it. So, let's kind of make that works. And, again, if you are trying to make money, you are going to set up something that works. This obviously works. I see this an awful lot in my work because, autistic people then get into a lot of trouble because they become, pretty much addicted. It's a form of gambling, and they kind of lose all their money and they get into a lot of trouble and they get depressed and suicidal and they end up with a psychiatrist. So, that's a kind of extreme path where that can lead. But, I would say it's definitely a very, very common problem, unfortunately.
That was the 5th and final part of Analyzing Autism. Thank you, everybody, for watching. If you have not seen the other parts, links to the playlist are in the description. Also, most of all, huge shout outs and massive thanks to Andy.
Let's talk about hiatal hernia syndrome. There are a multitude of symptoms associated with it.
What is going on, guys? We are back for another DSP video, and today we are looking at the crash outs of crash outs. This week has been insane, and if you thought the previous weeks of crash outs were intense, they are nothing compared to this week, as we have days where he does not hit the goal, does not even come close to it. It's pre-Kino levels of support. He has a marathon that crashes and burns and is based off the Switch 2 launch and Mario Kart World. He attacks his audience, his viewers, the people donating, everyone involved, trolls, detractors, and it's a delusional rant that was amazing to see. But we start today, on Sunday, and we have an update. So in the previous video, you saw he got a $1,600 tip from Thomas. Well, look at that, look at that. After that, $1,365 on WWE Champions for Down from the Rafters. What an amazing coincidence. And also, he just happened to buy $250 worth of accessories to show off on Switch 2. And then we see a modified version of the King of the Hill reboot, with adult Bobby being adult DSP. And if you want some excitement and you're on WWE 2K25 and you want to be a detractor, and you want to send someone a spoon, there's no better way than to have Lord Diaz and Mark Brutal, the detractors, on your very own console or PC. Go download them today. And we open up with DSP still mentally butthurt about the Doom clip going viral. However, this week, he's gonna have two things go viral for him. And that's gonna be Elden Ring and something that happens at his Switch 2 marathon. And he's degrading before our eyes even more so than usual. His brain is melting like crazy. And the funny thing is, for the first time in a very long time, he's going viral. And people have been watching him, keeping their eyes on him. And he's treating this just like this is how you don't play. And the funny thing about that is he said in the past, he had a chance to lean into this is how you don't play. If he would have taken it better and made a joke about that and leaned into the joke, he would have been in a better position. And history sometimes repeats itself. And that's what's going on right now. Subway, Doom, Elden Ring, Mario Kart. It's the exact same situation of this is how you don't play. And you just have to lean into it. Play along with it, make some money, get some views, get some more whales. But no, his fragile ego can't stand when people tell him, you're bad at a video game. And this entire cycle is happening to him all over again. And not only does he have his mental breakdown over the Doom clip and going viral and people saying you're bad at video games, he now in his background has the YouTube 100,000 sub plaque because he wants to reinvent himself. He wants to show people he's not bad because he has this plaque from YouTube, which by the way, Phil, anyone could have had that. That is not an indication that you're good at video games. And of course, another mental rant about his legacy and how he's good and nobody knows, blah blah blah. And here we have a picture of DSP with a gun to the plaque, saying this is my legacy. You don't know what you're talking about, dudes. I'm not crazy, dude. And get used to this image, because you're gonna see a lot this week. And are you ready for, as Meowblock says, the delusions of the grandest of doors?
So what's hilarious about it back in the day was that literally YouTube would judge channels and say, this channel just hit a milestone of subs, this channel hit a milestone of subs, and people will come to my channel and be like, Phil, why does no one sub to your channel? You know, you get so many views and people know of you in the gaming space, but it's weird that you don't have subs like all the other big channels. I said, because I actually work hard. Because I put out more content than literally anyone else out there. No one will subscribe to my channel because it's a YouTube functionality issue. It's not me. Tons of people told me back in the day I would definitely subscribe. By rights, I should have over 1 million subs.
And of course, DSP is crazy out of his mind yet again. First off, you were spamming up to 40 videos a day between 2-minute and 5-minute videos, and your idea of hard work was turn on the camera, start record, get drunk, stop recording, upload. That is not hard work. Anyone can do that. And then all the other people came along, Markiplier, PewDiePie, Game Grumps, with highly edited videos that were actually entertaining. But of course, it's your delusion of your reality. And I love how he said he's entitled to a 1 million sub channel. No, you're not. Every single thing in your life you believe should be given to you. And what you believe is hard work is actually easy work for everyone else. And you've had a pampered, sheltered lifestyle from your parents, from your friends, from Panda, from Cat, and you don't know the first thing about hardship. And then at one point he even said, I was regularly ranked in the top 10 gaming channels. That's not an exaggeration. Now think about that. Up to about 6 or 5 years ago, you were just below 200,000 subscribers. 5 or 6 years later, you're just over 200,000 subscribers. And around that time, you were streaming to like 500 to 800 people. You can barely break 200 now. Your whales are decreasing, your support's decreasing, everything's decreasing, but you're still the king of delusion. And then even started talking about KO Gaming. And he said, my Homefront the Revolution video got 1 million views. And this is what DSP used to do back in the day, is he'll take an opinion that's popular on the internet, say it to a video, just so he can get easy views. And you want to know how he followed up his 1 million view video of Homefront the Revolution? Did he work hard and produce more videos? No, he went on vacation. That is right, he said, I got 1 million views, I'm gonna go take a vacation now. And what happened? Because he was gone for like a week or two, out of the algorithm, people moved on. And he called them lazy for not sticking around and having attention problems. And this is absolutely hilarious, because DSP thinks he's the center of the internet. Everyone comes to see him, and if he's not streaming, nobody has anything to do. He's the only person that people watch. I got a newsflash for you, Phil. If you went away like a fart in the wind tomorrow, there would be Cobra, Cyrax, Dickers. There's a lot of people to watch other than you. But of course, it's the grandest of delusions.
The day that I don't stream is the day they can't make a buck, right? So imagine, just imagine if like I got really sick, or, you know, I broke my hands, or, you know, what if I got a car accident, right? Just think about that. What would they do?
Well, to be honest, I do think we'll Phil in a car accident quite a bit. And DSP is dead set that the Switch 2 marathon that he's gonna do and the Summer Game Festival that he's gonna react to is gonna bring so many people in. And they're gonna come in, they're gonna support. It's definitely not gonna be a disaster. And keep in mind too, for that marathon, in the previous marathon, which was viewer's choice, he said, I'm done, no one else is picking these marathons, I'm doing it all by myself. I know what people want. Well, we'll see how that goes for you, Phil. And of course, one of the OG parasites, one of the worst humans on the planet, NDO, who will never find true love, on the first of the month, pays his Phil bill like the huge cuck that he is.
Shit, I'm not making this up. NDO 103 just tipped me $100. Wow. $100 tip from NDO. Thank you, NDO. Let's get that on the leaderboard. Holy crap. Let's see what he has to say, because he put a big message there. It's funny watching 10-plus-year-old videos of you and your reaction to the original This Is How You Don't Play. All that overreaction from you over just saying that Phil is bad at Metal Gear Solid 2. I feel like if that happened today, it'd be so different. Because, like, when's the last time you ever mentioned it, This Is How You Don't Play? I feel there was a certain irony where you kept mentioning This Is How You Don't Play back in the day, and that caused people to actually learn about it and watch it.
And like I said before, Phil, that's happening right now with the viral clips, and you're reacting in the worst possible way. And I, for one, am loving the internet finding out about the guy and how bad he is at video games. And then DSP announced all the Switch 2 accessories that he's gonna test on his marathon. And one of them was a travel case, which is quite odd because DSP never leaves the house. He says there's no point in bringing a Switch outside, and also said his Switch 2 will never leave the dock. So how exactly are you going to review a travel case for a Switch 2 when you never go outside and you're not going to use the travel case? But then again, it's DSP, and he DSPs everything up. And then DSP started playing Elden Ring, Night Rain, and it's as bad as you think. He is the worst teammate I've ever seen. He calls people idiots, say they don't know what they're doing, they're running off from me, even though there's 3 people, 2 of them stick together and you run off somewhere else. And it's a game where he can't over-level the character, so he can't face tank all the enemies, especially the bosses, and he's absolutely getting destroyed because it relies more on skill. And one thing he hates so much is the targeting system. And you would think, after all the Souls games he's played, he would get the hang of this. But no, Phil never learns from anything. And Poems Pass, 1,000 yards away. Look, I can't target him to hit him. Laugh my ass off, I can't. Now it's one thing for me to describe how much DSP fails in this game. We're actually going to take a look and see visually how he keeps failing over and over and over and is the worst teammate ever.
Thank you. Holy shit. What the fuck? Again? Yo, how is that fair? I just revived and he hit a fucking thing I couldn't do anything about. I can't select it. Look, I want to target him. They won't let me select it. Dude, this is ridiculous. I can't get out of the way. I can't. This is stupid. This is fucking dumb, man. You can't, yeah, we're done. You can't get out of the way. Like, literally, it's so nonsensical. He's hitting us from the entire arena away. You dodge and it doesn't work because the fucking lag. He's freezing the graphics and shit. Actually, this boss fucks the game up. Because when he moves, I try to dodge and he hit me anyway, and then the game froze when he did electricity. I got downed multiple times by his electric attack when I was trying to dodge it. It doesn't work. So, that was fucking stupid. Why did it freeze when he attacked? Fuck. Yeah, I don't know why this guy got lost. Marcellus or whatever. He got lost and didn't get to come to the fight. He must have understood what was happening. No, Marcellus, why are we down here, dude? Are you kidding? Why did we do this? This is brain dead stupid. We don't have any flasks. Oh my god, why are we down here? Well, he's going this way. I don't know where he is. Where did he go? Look, is he below me? I don't know where the fuck he went. So now I'm gonna get lost again, because I don't know what I'm doing. And the wall is coming. Why the fuck did he do that? What an idiot. Nah, this was really dumb. Look, now the wall's coming and I can't do anything. Why did they do this? Man, this is pissing me off. Why did he come down here? What an asshole. Cam Nando, you idiot. I have pimples, you dunce. I love morons who say disgusting things to me when I have pimples. Anyway. See, if I was like level 12, I'd be doing crazy good damage to this thing. I'm basically what I'm supposed to fight. I'm supposed to fight Mothra while they fight the Scorpion. But I'm too low level because they kept fucking abandoning me. This is a fucking joke! This is stupid as fuck. There was no way I could help him. I tried. There was no way I could help him. And then the enemy can hit me through the fucking wall. This game is fucking ass, man. It really is. Why can he hit me through the wall? Perfectly. Oh, he's mad. Oh shit, whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa! Why so upset? Boy! He really wants to kill me. They're both down. Dude, we're all down instantly. What the fuck? He downed both my teammates at the same time, and before I had a chance to up one, he downed me instantly. What the fuck? Wow. That was absolutely ridiculous. Why did he do so much damage? He took our entire health bars with one hit. Wow.
And then we get to the night stream where he plays Minecraft, and it looks like Cat is not cooking for DSP anymore, as DSP himself made turkey burgers yet again. And then someone asked him, are you gonna celebrate Pride Month? Because remember, he has that slide, well, had the slide, where he talks about how he's a proud ally and everyone's welcome here. Well, now DSP says, my wife and I are straight, so we don't celebrate Pride Month. And now Minecraft is becoming more complicated for DSP, and he is now overwhelmed in Minecraft. Imagine being overwhelmed in Minecraft when you don't build anything. And now the grift, you know when support's low, he starts these new grifts. And now, in Minecraft, $25, you can name an animal, or a sign, or a tool, or a weapon. That is right, whatever's in the game, if he can name it, he'll take your $25. However, he will not build things for money in Minecraft because it's too stressful and not fun. That is right. If it's already built by the game in the game, $25, you can name it. You want me to build something for money? Hell no. That's too much work, dudes. And now, in a moment that's gonna backfire later on in the week, DSP's gonna brag that he got his Switch 2 despite the trolls trying to ruin launch day for DSP and canceling his Nintendo Switch 2 through Walmart.
I'm glad to hear that at least it sounds like you've come into a better position, Anonymous Tipper, and you realize that sitting around doing this LARPing, meaning pretending to be a fan when you're really a toxic dick towards someone, is a waste of your time. And quite frankly, these people who have these problems, if they spent their time focused on themselves and improving their own lives and situations, it would be way more productive than just sitting around dumping on someone else. Because as much as you dump on me, it's still not going to make your life better. It might temporarily make you feel better to say, haha, someone's down on their luck. But guess what? You're still in the same shitty position, right? All those people who a month ago were rejoicing that my Switch 2 pre-orders got canceled, only to find out a month later I'm getting a Switch 2 and there's nothing you can do about it. Tough shit. By the way, your life still sucks. Yeah.
And look at this. Look at the narcissism of all these different DSPs. And they're all equally disgusting. And remember, on his birthday marathon when he said, ever since I married Kat, I've been nicer. I haven't been as angry. Despite all the rants and toxic outbursts, he still claims, ever since he married his wife, he's been calmer and he's not angry anymore.
And that's correct. I am much nicer now that I met Kat, because before I met Kat, I actually would have told you how I really feel. Right now, I'm definitely padding it. Trust me. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Oh, by the way, how about this? I don't know what the fuck idiots are talking about with memes and shit. Oh, it's like, he's just like me. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I don't follow your dumb fucking memes. So take your meme and shove it up your fucking ass, because I have the ability to make an observation that's factually fucking based. Oh. Just because I'm Darkside Phil doesn't mean I get to ignore fucking facts that the characters in this game are going through what I go through on a daily fucking basis. Shut the fuck up. Holy fucking shit, relax. Some people just can't control themselves. I'm not taking your shit. I don't care who the fuck it is. There's people in the chat right now. Oh, he's doing a meme. Oh, this is cringe. Shut the fuck up and eat it. Eat it. Give me your mailing address. I want to mail you a spoon so you can eat shit out of my fucking... I'm tired of people saying that because I am who I am, I can't say a factual observation. It's a fucking fact that the characters in that game are going through what I have factually gone through on a daily fucking basis for years. So shut the fuck up. I am not putting up with any of this shit ever again. You're gonna tell me I can't make a factual observation? How about you kiss my... And I'm fucking pissed about it. Because I see this shit. Oh, he can't say that. Oh yeah? I can't say a fact? What fucking world do we live in that I can't say a fucking fact, you bitch? Enough is enough with this shit. Yeah, King be cruel. King be bitch. You're gonna say dumb shit like that in fucking chat, and everyone else who said that too. There's people in the comments, all my haters saying it in their videos. So now we know what you're watching every fucking day, right? You dumb fuck. Shut the fuck up. No one cares about your bitch-ass, memeable opinions. There's facts, there's reality, and then there's your bullshit world that you live in on the internet where you circle jerk each other with your conspiracy and your nonsense, and no one fucking cares about you except your circle jerking community. The problem is there's too many of you. There's too many fucking idiots. And enough is enough with this shit. It's time to call it out. Just because I'm one of the most abused people on the internet doesn't mean I don't get to make a factual observation. I can say whatever the fuck I want, and you like it, or you shut the fuck up. Sóbrame, por favor, you cabrón. Like, Jesus, relax, dude. Now, you got a problem with that? Test me, bitch. Because I'm not putting up with it anymore. I'm not. I'm not gonna have people come in here on my streams and in fucking other videos and say, oh, Jesus, oh, look, you know, I'm like him, just like me and him. Shut the fuck. No one even knows what you're talking about. I've never even heard the meme before because I'm not an asshole. I'm not a fucking dumbass mouth-filled idiot. I don't follow the dunces follow on the internet. It's my life I'm talking about, right? And it's true. Follow the plot of this game. This is exactly what I've gone through. I've lost tons of business opportunity.
And then we have this super chat from Cam. No green screen means other assets. Of course, he's talking about his robust, meaningful boobs. And then we have a guitar player, 1939, one of the OG parasites. Also imagine having no life that you would literally spend over an hour trying to fool Walmart that you're someone else. Well, imagine, guitar player, for over a decade, handing over your paycheck to a guy who's addicted to gambling and alcohol just so you can own other people on the internet. I know, it's pathetic. And then DSP was supported on Minecraft, and he said, everyone likes what I'm playing right now, and the support shows it. Poems Past points out that 95% of the support tonight is from 2 people, and then DSP is upset because you can't anonymously give subs on Kick on his channel. Of course, he doesn't want people harassed. And now DSP is going to explain why Sushi DSP Tries It is not a good idea, even though he's going to do it later on in the week. But him eating a hamburger is visually appealing.
Well, sushi, there are some really good sushi places around here, all right? But to be honest, like, we could do sushi. I've never done sushi on DSP Tries It before. That's true. That's actually a true statement. I didn't even think about that. We never did it before. But sushi isn't very impressive to watch. And what do I mean by that? Like, just take a look at when we did the How to Train Your Dragon meal on Friday. The burger was this big, colorful burger that I could show off what was on it in the bun. You can see me eating it, and wow, it's messy, right? You know, the fries, the mozzarella fries looked cool. It's something visually appealing, while also you eat it and you rate the flavors. With sushi, all sushi is just this tiny little roll. You know what I'm saying? Now, they do look different. Sometimes they have fish on top, different things inside, but they all are kind of samey. They're not, like, visually popping or that appealing, you know?
And now Monday, where DSP's descent into madness continues to spiral. But first, we get a throwback, courtesy of Poems Past, and how DSP saved Scum in the Adventure of Link for the NES. And remember, DSP calls himself the king of retro. Let's see how he does in a retro game. And no, you are not seeing the same clip over and over. He kept reloading the save, doing the same thing, and dying over and over again. And DSP still complaining about Elden Ring Night Rain. And he puts this in the pre-stream chat. Yeah, I'm already at the point that I need a reliable team. The real final bosses are serious business to tackle, and randos aren't cutting it. AKA, he needs someone to hold his hand and do all the work for him. Kill the bosses for me, dudes. And I've been saying for a very long time how DSP is not a recovered alcoholic. He is still an alcoholic, but he refuses to acknowledge what we all know. And now someone's gonna call him out about normalizing drinking on regular streams. Cause remember before it was just, oh, on special occasions, then marathons, and then off camera with my wife. Now, he wants to normalize drinking on chill gameplay streams. And DSP gets very defensive about this and bans someone for asking about it.
So, I got a $2 tip. Congrats on your recent success. Can't wait for the Switch 2. I've got Truck Sim because of you, and I might get a wheel. Thoughts on the slippery slope of normalizing drinking during gaming for contributions? And now he's like, oh, you're a former alcoholic. How about this? Fuck you. I can drink if I want because I'm a fucking adult, as long as I do it responsibly, which I do. I'm not drinking and driving. I'm not advising that people do bad things. Go fuck yourself. I can drink whenever I want, and you'll like it. Okay. So he's a moron hiding behind the tip because he thought that I was going to care because he says that nice stuff first. Then he says, you're a recovering alcoholic. Why are you drinking? Because I'm an adult and I can do what I want and you can kiss my fucking ass. Thanks. Yes, I did have to be an asshole to him because when someone's going to be messed up to you like that, you have to treat them with the exact way that you understand that they need to be treated so they go away. Because someone like that, they're going to talk, oh, how dare you drink on stream? And don't you think that's a bad example because you're a former alcoholic? No, because I drink responsibly. I'm not drinking and driving. I'm not going and doing stupid shit. I'm not messing with guns and weapons and stuff while I'm drinking. We're playing video games. So if I have a White Claw when I'm doing Truck Sim, that's fine. It's any adult's right to do that. If we're doing a marathon and I say, hey, we hit a certain support goal and you guys want to see me get a little tipsy, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm in the safety of my own home office. In fact, that's probably the safest way to do it. Don't go drinking and driving at the bar or at a restaurant. If you do it safely at home, it's fine. So what don't you understand? But what it is they content farm. This person actually wanted me to try to like say something about, oh yeah, alcoholism and shit. Go fuck yourself. No, really, I mean it. Go fuck yourself. Leave me alone.
And now DSP's going to go on a rant about delivery people and how they don't know how to do their job. And it gets so bad that on the stream, he calls customer service to complain about it and try and get it fixed. But remember, he doesn't waste your time. He could have done this off stream, but no. DSP has to do it now. Cause dude, he thinks this is content.
Awaken to a world of wonder in Final Fantasy XIV Online. Play solo or team up with your friends. Play free today.
What a bunch of idiots. I ordered something for the Switch. This is what I was going to check on. I ordered something for the Switch for today, and they said they couldn't deliver it, but no explanation as to why. Couldn't deliver it. Okay, why? Why couldn't you deliver it? Can you explain? No. And all it says is, oh, sorry. You could try ordering it again. Well, what does that mean? So did they refund me? I don't even know. I don't even know what they did. Did they refund it? This is so dumb. I even have all instructions on how to deliver it. Detailed instructions on how to do it. They're all right here. How much you want to bet that the delivery people are idiots? That's my guess. Just a complete moron who doesn't read. Because sadly, I hate to say it, this also happens, you know, sadly, with sometimes food deliveries. You'll give all the information on how to access, I live in a private community, okay? There's a front gate. There's a code to get in. So when I have a delivery going, I give all the information out. Here's how you do it. I even say, you know, here's where the house is. Person probably is just stupid and didn't read. Just a dummy. Didn't feel like reading to figure it out how to deliver. So I'll give up. And the funny part is there's nothing here I can do. It literally says there's nothing I can do. All the delivery instructions are right there. So what am I supposed to do differently? This is asinine and stupid. And again, this makes me nervous about, like, my Switch 2 coming on Thursday. You get one competent person, and they'll know exactly what they're doing, and then you'll get a moron who doesn't read and doesn't care and doesn't really give a shit, and they just do the bare minimum. And then they won't deliver something, and I'm nervous about Thursday that happens. Imagine I'm doing my marathon, and it's like, oh, can't deliver your Switch 2 because the moron is an idiot who doesn't read notes and can't get into your facility. Great. So yeah, this is frustrating, because again, I did have some of the stuff here, and I had more stuff coming that I wanted to have here, and I don't have it, and I don't even know. I guess all I could do is click get help and try to talk with their customer support about it. Our chat can only deal with a chat style issue. You have to call our phone number to have someone call the driver. You are insane. You know what? Oh my lord. So they want me to stop my stream, stop working, to call them, to speak to the human to say, hey, you already have the information to access the facility. It sounds like your driver doesn't know how to read. Can you get them to learn how to be, literate so they can enter? Unbelievable. Anyway, there was something else to that.
And in a moment that's really funny, someone called Phil a mark for buying all these accessories for the Switch 2, even though he's not going to use it. And he said, oh no, I'm just reviewing it. You spend over $250 to review stuff you're never going to use. Phil, just admit it. You're a mark.
A travel case that has a fancy design on it, and it's supposed to house not only the Switch 2 and the Joy-Cons, but it's also supposed to house games. Now, I haven't even opened it. As you see, I'm not unboxing any of this stuff. I'm going to do it live on the stream on Thursday when we first unbox the Switch 2. So I'm not going to do any of this till we have it. I don't want it to spoil. I'm just showing you how many things I actually have to test out. All right. So we got that case. And then in addition to all of that, I was curious about this. A charging dock that's a standalone charging dock that your magnetic Switch 2 controllers are supposed to snap to and attach to remotely charge, so you don't have to have them on the side of your Switch. You can just put them on the dock when you're done using them. But the dock has LEDs. RGB LEDs on it. How fancy is that? Who doesn't want RGBs on their dock charger? I mean, that's the selling point of the dock charger for me. Okay, so we gotta try that. All right, now some of the other things, like I said, I had another case that I ordered. Now this case looked unique. What this case was supposed to be was like a form factor case to the Switch 2. Like it actually specifically forms to the controllers and the thumbsticks and stuff. And that didn't get delivered yet. It was supposed to be delivered this morning, but they bumped the delivery till afternoon. So I'm not gonna have that now to show you today. And in addition, I had some other accessories as well. So we will have a good amount of stuff, particularly of all these things. I would say these three to find out if they're good or not. Like the wheel, is it worth it or is it just a piece of junk? Does it not actually do anything, right? The thumbstick attachments, are they good or are they actually just crap? And this, which is the third-party version, okay, of the same thing that Nintendo's charging $40 for, this one's only $20, is the third-party discounted version, more viable. The funny part about this is Dying Not Dead in chat says, I mean this is the nicest possible way, but you're a mark. I'm not a mark. I'm testing these products for the stream so you know whether or not to get them. Anything here that, number one, isn't good, I can return. And number two, this is my job. I'm literally reviewing these peripherals, right? This is actually the first time I'm able to really do so because they were all available before the launch of the console and readily available. So this is a review, it's a review segment of my content. Why do you think I'm a mark? I'm not someone who's a consumer who ran out and bought them and still have 700 accessories. You know what I mean? Like, this is, I'm gonna do it for business purposes. Anyway.
Oh, and DSP has a plan tonight for American Truck Simulator. He's gonna be a bad boy. He's gonna steal some of his wife's alcohol. And he's gonna have alcoholic lemonade tonight. This reminds me a lot of PWR when he stole his mom's beers. But also DSP says, if he hits the funding goal tonight, he will buy a wheel for his PC. And then he also announced that he's no longer interested in beating Elden Ring Night Rain. He just wants to see the bosses and then call it done. That is right. He's telling people in advance he is rage/wage quitting Night Rain, and he just wants to see the bosses. Doesn't matter if he beats them, just wants to see them. Also in the same rant, he doesn't like how he has to think fast in Night Rain. And he says he needs a moment to learn bosses, and therefore it's annoying to him. And Elden Ring wastes his time by not allowing him to learn the bosses. Look at that first stream, Blueprints, $37. And yet again, he did not hit the goal. What is going on, guys? Where's all the support at, dudes? Then a quote from DSP. Why did no one show up who normally supports? And then Dickstroke and Philvlog points out that the Friday right before this, he got a $1,600 tip. Plus, it was a $2,000 day. Mixed in with you playing Blueprints, which is boring as fuck. And then Dickstroke and Philvlogs, only $37? Again? Guys, the $1,600 tip from the other day is already spent. I need your buy-in. Then we have this picture of Phil looking constipated. Now, anyone that's not on Twitter, there is a fun application here named Grok, who basically you tell them what to do, and it photoshops the picture to whatever you ask it to do. So I asked Grok, put an 80s style wig on DSP and glasses, and we got this. Look at that. Look at how horrendous that looks. It's amazing. But then I went a little bit further, and I said, Grok, put him in a tank top. And then we got this, and that is nightmare fuel right there. And DSP is not done buying more stuff. Remember the multiple times he said, I'm done buying stuff, I want to save up money. Well, his greed, his endless spending habits will never be fulfilled because he wants more and more, like the money slut that he is.
Roughly. And if we hit the goal tonight on that stream of support, I have committed that I'm going to get some kind of a wheel and a pedal to actually drive in the game, you know, moving forward, and also for other driving games. For example, strong rumor that they're going to announce Forza Horizon 6 at Summer Game Fest, or, excuse me, at the Xbox Showcase. If they do, well, that would certainly be an awesome game to maybe do, you know, wheel and pedal to try to play. Because now I can play on my gaming PC, it would look outstanding, and I'd be able to have, like, authentic controls, right? So, strong consideration there. Let's see. But let's see how it goes tonight. Hopefully you guys will come back tonight for Truck Sam. Hopefully we'll get support. We hit that goal, and then I'll be getting that peripheral. All right? In fact, I'll take suggestions. I'll ask people, what do you think? What are the names of some good ones? I'll write them down. Okay, guys?
Then if you want another example of Gin Brain, DSP says he wants to eat Jack in the Box now, and claims he hasn't eaten since he restarted. DSP tries it. Gelgout points out he tried it several months ago in Smash Burger Contest. And this has been happening a lot as of late, where he'll say, I've never done this, I want to do this. And someone will point out, oh, you already did that. And he's like, oh, I did? His memory is getting worse and worse by the day. And now DSP is going to cope and seethe over people not supporting Blueprints, even though it's the most boring game he's ever played, and he's the most boring streamer I've ever seen. He's going to say that people need to support it, and he doesn't know what's going on, dude.
Okay, we're going to begin soon. Give it another couple of minutes to get more people on because, wow, attendance is terrible. Hopefully people will actually show up for this, considering they've wanted it every week and supported it every week and said they wanted it again and they were going to hit the goal so that we can get this accessory. Hope so. Like I said, I want to bounce back. Earlier today really sucked with Blueprints. It was very disappointing that basically all of the interest in Blueprints has dried up. It was funny because we played for over 90 minutes and almost nothing happened. Then all of a sudden in the last 20 minutes, it was like, we solve a mystery, we discover a new room we've never been in, we open a, you know, we solve one of the big puzzles, and we're like, whoa, 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 all at once at the very end. And it seems like that may be how Blueprints is moving forward. It may be a lot of boredom until that RNG thing happens that we're waiting for, and the next thing you know, boom, 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 big progress in like many different ways. And so, I want to play more of it, but I don't know. That was a dead stream. I hope that tonight we have a good stream.
Autism alert! Autism alert!
And then DSP announced he's gonna waste more of your time tomorrow on the pre-stream, as he's gonna live shop for that wheel and pedal. What great content for a so-called gaming podcast. But remember, he doesn't waste your time like other people. And then he's already committed to get in the wheel because he made the goal tonight and last week on Truck Simulator. But now he's saying if he gets 300 tonight, he will look into possibly getting a better steering wheel. That is right. Keep giving him more money so he can spend it on a better wheel. And this is how he dangles the carrot around the dents. Keep giving me money, maybe I'll get a better one. Come on guys, you know you want a better steering wheel. What a scumbag. And the money was still not coming in for the $300. And he's forcing overtime, hoping for a whale Mary for extra money. Remember, he's already hit the goal, but he wants that $300 to make up for Blueprints not making the goal.
We got about 20 minutes left on the stream. Number one, to hit this goal and just to have me buy a wheel and pedal to begin with. Like I said, I was gonna get probably around a $200 one if we hit the goal tonight. If we double the goal tonight, if someone is generous, I beat the turn. If someone is generous and we double the goal tonight, which will make up for my slow stream of Blueprints earlier today, we hit 300 bucks by the end of the stream, I will buy a more expensive wheel. Probably $300 or maybe a little more, we'll see, okay? So let's see how we do. If we don't hit a goal, then I'm not getting a wheel and a pedal at all.
Get ready to turn right.
And now that DSP's gonna get a wheel and pedals, he says he doesn't want to use it for other games other than American Truck Simulator because it'll wear him out and make it not fun, dude. Well, the whole point is to play driving games with it. So you're only gonna use it for one game, American Truck Simulator, and not for others. Seems like a waste of money. And it'd be really funny if you got the wheel, then all of a sudden, American Truck Simulator support just dies completely. He is gonna be so pissed.
Here's my concern. It's all well and good, it's all fun and games, until you realize that using that accessory, even though it's more realistic, becomes not as fun as using a controller. Because here's why. Oh, I have a controller, I'm gonna play a video game. You notice something? I'm relaxed, the controller's on my lap, my arms are in a natural position. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna play a video game. And now I'm driving, like I'm actually in a real car, and now my arms are upright the whole time. And now it's like you get worn out. It's not as fun, you see? But I'm down to try it, you know? I've never done it before. I've never had like a flight sim sticker set up. I've never had a wheel for a driving game. So I'm willing to give it a shot.
And then we have this from Zayas, MD, you know, Dr. Zayas. I'm so fucking excited for the truck driving stream. Trucks are fast and are made of metal. And now DSP, yet again, like he does every single time, is gonna talk about his back injury, and he's gonna retcon it and bastardize the story he always tells. But at the same time, he always changes that story. And I'm sure somewhere, Steve of the Dead is pulling his hair out.
No, it was just something that very slowly happened over time, okay? It wasn't, oh, I had an injury that was serious in sports or a car accident or I fell and broke my back. Nothing like that. Just over time, my lower back just started to hurt more and more and more. And eventually it got so bad with shooting pain and numbness that I went to the doctor, got an x-ray. X-ray showed nothing, so they did an MRI, and they said, oh my Lord, your disc is about to burst. You absolutely need to make lifestyle changes and start treating it right now, or you have serious problems. No, it was just, I used to have a severe back injury that actually would be messed up. Like, for example, there was a severely herniated disc in my... severely herniated disc. There you go.
Here at Gamefly, we've been innovating video game rentals since 2002. Our Game Lock feature guarantees your new release. No more guessing. Play brand new games at rental prices. We deliver that game to your door. You play as long as you want, then swap for another one. We're always looking for ways to get you games faster.
Then someone asked DSP what he makes in his air fryer. And DSP said he doesn't use it because it takes more time to clean than to cook in. Maybe if you're a lazy loser like you, DSP, but most people clean after themselves, you scumbag. And DSP was not done yet he is still begging for money, begging for tips, begging for super chats, memberships, anything to get the $300.
Don't forget about pop-ups. Oh, you mean the, You're right. I don't want YouTube pop-ups on my face. I will move them up here. Thank you for the heads up. I don't want pop-ups covering my face. Because we all know you guys are going to be supporting this stream in droves massively, so we can hit that goal and get a driving wheel and pedal set. So there's going to be a ridiculous amount of pop-ups on this stream. I know that. It's going to be out of control.
Then DSP goes to park his truck, and he doesn't understand why the game is telling him he's not parked correctly. And look at this picture, and you'll definitely understand why the game said that. And would you look at that, he is desperate to make that $300. So the one time only, never seen before, never seen again, OG badge offer on Kick is back. And DSP still begging like a crackhead and telling you he needs to bounce back and give him another $150 tonight because of the dead stream, wasted stream, disheartening stream, and very telling stream. And it looks like DSP has gone viral yet again. First, Subway. Second, Doom. And now, Elden Ring Night Rain. And we have this from Shitpost 2049. Game journalists, Elden Ring Night Rain without the Mimic tier.
Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, it's Margo. Bill Omen, they call him, though. There he goes. I knew that was gonna happen. I knew it. He got me. I'm gonna die. Yup. There was nothing I could do. He caught me in his stupid poison. Nothing I could do. Me into the fire. There was nothing I could do. Oh shit! I'm dead. I couldn't do anything. He knocked me down. I got up and I was in lava. Damn, that sucked. I have no heals.
Now keep in mind, he says this on June 2nd, the second day of the month. This month has been a bad month for subs on Kick. Let's go, guys. Let's get some subs going on Kick. That is right, the second day of the month, he's already saying it's a bad month for subs. And then he did not get the $300 he wanted, but he still hit the amount to buy the wheel and pedal. And he's now saying that people forced him to get the cheaper option since no one gave him $300. And look at this thumbnail. Absolutely disgusting. He has no idea what he's doing. And now Tuesday, as we get closer and closer to the marathon and the crash out that happens. And this week so far has been low support for DSP, and he doesn't know what's going on. As he puts this in the pre-stream chat, yeah, I legit don't know what to do about Blueprints. And as soon as DSP starts to stream, it's about money. And why you're not giving him money? What's going on? Why is Blueprints not being supported? And then even admits that there is a small group that is supporting Blueprints and they're not showing up, but they better start doing it, otherwise it's gone. Another reason why people don't want to watch DSP is because of the chat. If you're not talking about the game, you're not talking about DSP, he will yell at you, he'll be toxic, and he even says now people are not paying attention to the game when he plays Blueprints, and that needs to stop. Talk about the game, talk about him, don't talk about anything else. Then a viewer said to DSP, you should have a 3-strike rule for playthroughs. 3 low supported streams and it's gone. When in reality, DSP has a 1-strike rule the first time it's low supported, boom, it's gone. Better pay up, Dense. And this is how DSP describes an onion.
On the outside, an onion looks like one big juicy hole.
And DSP again, telling people, next support for Blueprints, you better support it, you better show up. Doesn't even matter if you like the game, you better start supporting. Otherwise, it's gone. Ban, ban, ban. Gone forever. That is right. Threatening to wage quit Blueprints outside the stream. Amazing. Just amazing. Then I told you, you're gonna see that picture a lot this week, and we see Phil holding blueprints hostage. Then he started talking about The Witcher, and someone brought up Cyberpunk, and DSP said, oh, Cyberpunk is mid, it's not that good. The story's bad, the gameplay's bad, everything's bad. It's a one-trick pony, and over-sexualized. And then someone brought up that they fixed Cyberpunk. It's better, people like it now, but DSP says, in his eyes, it's not fixed, because he didn't like the game. That is right. In his eyes, it's bad, therefore, he thinks it's factually bad. Then goes on to say, the world of Cyberpunk is stupid and boring. At least The Witcher is based off a book. And now DSP is going to react to new footage from Witcher 4. And of course, Mr. Positivity has to shit all over it and be very negative, be very toxic. This is why people don't like your reviews, DSP.
This is how responsive the world is.
He's not playing it, dude. Get the fuck, no, fuck you. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're not playing it. We just saw that it zoomed out and did a tech demo. You can't control that with a PS5 controller. You're not really playing the game. The fucking camera is panning in front of her. How could you be walking seamlessly forward on a PS5 controller? Fuck you. Why are you such a disingenuous liar? It's like we're back to E3 of like 2000 when they used to do this shit all the time. Stop. Stop lying. You did this with Cyberpunk and it fucking bit you so hard in the ass. Why are you lying again? Just be real with the people and then they won't fucking be pissed at you when the game comes out and they've been overpromised and underdelivered for the millionth time. So you're not playing the game. We know you're not.
What happens around you? Sometimes even setting off chain reactions. Everything is working together.
Look, he's moving the thumbstick, yet nothing's happening on the screen. Yeah, he's really playing.
Or look at this poor gentleman being taught how to fly by an angry innkeeper. That's what happens when you cheat at Gwen.
Last of it, is it?
Okay, so this is the guy who gave the street questions on. Like you probably suspect, he has his own agenda in all of this.
Just get hits again, Wilfred. Get your ass up.
A typical day's toil.
Who in? Witcheress. One using my wagons. No eternity is taking that damn salt to arrive.
I found them.
So remember yesterday when he said on the podcast, we're gonna shop for the Amazon steering wheel and pedal. Oh, guess what? He doesn't have enough time, so he doesn't know when he's gonna do it. What a scammer. And now DSP is so desperate for money. He doesn't care if you're toxic, if you're negative, if you're gonna criticize him, as long as you give him money.
AI Camus, if you're just gonna sit there and be a toxic individual on Kick, I at least expect you to drop a few subs. You've been toxic the entire podcast, just spouting nonsense out of your butthole of a mouth. You know, drop a sub. Maybe I'll let you continue. Anyway. So AI Camus, I'm wondering, where were those subs? Come on, you wanted to sit there and be toxic all day and I let you do it. Where were the subs? Where's your paid tax to do that?
Now DSP has to be very careful about this. He just said, give me money or else I'm gonna ban you. That, my friends, is TOS right there. And then DSP started playing Expedition 33 and support was low. And he was getting on people, where's the support, blah blah blah. But then he got raided by someone named Softy Bear. And all of a sudden, fake side Phil comes out, that fake persona. Oh guys, it's okay, don't worry about money. Support's not important, let's have fun, let's make progress in the game. Ha 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 ha. But as soon as they were gone, where's the money, fuckers? You better fucking pay up. Then we see the bad placement of DSP's camera next to the 16-year-old in the game. And then there's a scene where one of the characters is able to vomit up wine for other people to drink, and DSP makes this joke about how, oh, the underage girl who's 16 should drink apple juice. And starts talking about how the character probably pisses it out so she can drink it. What a sick fuck. And despite him playing this almost 40 hours, he still doesn't understand the mechanics in this game. And he has to be told by his audience how to play the game after almost 40 hours.
What if I wanted him to have anti-char? Where is it? Where is it? You can't equip it, why not? He already had it equipped? I'm confused. Huh. Well, I don't get it. I can't equip it. 3 AP on killing an enemy? Cool.
And then someone brought up, yet again, his alcoholism and how he shouldn't be drinking. And DSP says he's not an alcoholic because he stays at home and drinks by himself. No social purpose. And he insists that this is the safest and most responsible way to have alcohol. Then lashed out saying he can drink whenever he wants because he has control over his addiction. And he tries to justify it by saying, I'm not going out, I'm not drunk driving, I'm not shooting guns, which with DSP always goes to extreme, so he can downplay his actual addiction. And guys, you'll never believe this, another stream with low support. And now it's starting to get to DSP. He doesn't understand what's going on, and now it's time for the salt to come out. The toxicity. Let's see it in all its glory. DSP asking, where's the money at, dudes?
So guys, I mean, honest question. Are we ever gonna get any support on this stream? Like we've had, I always thought, okay, it's a slow stream. But at least someone would support by the end. I'm not kidding you. There has been one person who contributed the entirety of the gameplay of the stream, 3 hours. And it was Darth Fig, $5. Are we for real? Like, what the hell is going on? Right now, while we're on Kick, let's get some subs. Let's get some tips, some super chats, memberships on YouTube. What is going on? What is going on? No, really, what the fuck is going on? I don't get it. I've been playing this game for 50 hours. You guys have liked it a lot. Told me to keep playing it. What the fuck? Let's give some support right now. God damn it. I mean it. Come on.
Please, guys, so now, please support the stream. Right now, we're at like 20 bucks. So again, one of my worst supported streams ever. But we still have time. Please support Claire Obscure. Okay? All right.
So guys, I mean, honest question. Are we ever going to get any support on this stream? I always thought, okay, it's a slow stream. But at least someone would support by the end. I'm not kidding you. There has been one person who contributed the entirety of the gameplay of the stream, 3 hours. Are we for real? Like, what the hell is going on? Right now, while we're on Kick, let's get some subs. Let's get some tips, some super chats, memberships on YouTube. What is going on? No, really, what the fuck is going on? I don't get it. Been playing this game for 50 hours. You guys have liked it a lot. Told me to keep playing it. What the fuck? Let's give some support right now. God damn it. I mean it. Come on. I don't care who clips it. They can kiss my fucking ass. Give me some support for this. What's going on?
Dig Biggs did a $2 or a €2 super chat and says, chillax, bro. Well, gee, thanks, Dig Biggs. We're now up to a whopping $25 of support for a stream I've been on since 11:30 this morning. Great.
Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. All right, folks. Well, yeah, I mean, I think you guys know what I'm going to say, right? You know how disappointed I am with how the stream went. I literally received $7 of support the entirety of the stream. It was like 16 to 20 bucks on the podcast, and then $7 for a 3-hour gameplay stream. Yeah, it's disappointing, because again, it's the game. When I play certain games, people love it. Last night, we had a truck sim stream that exceeded the goal. When I do Minecraft, we hit and exceed the goal. We've been doing well with everything. It's just these slower games just aren't doing well. It sucks. And that's just so fucking frustrating and disappointing.
I hit gold on my team! Let's go!
Let's go.
Yes!
A 50-hour game that everyone's, oh, best RPG in a decade. You know, I agree. Wow, it's amazing. The gameplay elements, the graphics, the music, I agree. Okay, I'll play it. Oh, no, no, we're not going to show off. We're going to sit here and complain in the chat that the game sucks. All right, guys. Well, yeah, disappointment. What can I say? Hopefully, please come back tonight.
No.
And also, DSP blamed low support on people having low attention spans, and they refuse to watch anything long like an RPG. Then why do you keep playing them, Phil? Why? You know they're not gonna work, but you still keep playing them. And look at that. He ended up at $25 for the entire stream. We are definitely back to pre-Kino numbers. 166 people watching too, by the way. Then we have Dickstroke and Phil vlogs. With this thought of Phil and Kat together. Yes, honey, I'm still a successful streamer. Me raising $25 in 5 hours was just a blip. What about last week when I only raised $37? Or yesterday when I only raised $40? Shut up, bitch. Keep talking in DoorDash orders. will be for Re only. Then we have a Simpsons meme, DSP as Principal Skinner. Am I the reason the viewer is refusing to contribute? No, it's the viewer. Fuck you. And now it's time for Salt, as old school fighting games returns. And DSP puts this on Twitter. Tonight's late stream is my only fighting game stream of the week, and please support it. After 2 abysmal day streams in a row, let's turn things around tonight with Tuesday night fights. And then DSP opens up the stream and someone asked him, how are you feeling? That's all they asked. He could have answered with dinner, his wife, his family, you know, the walks they go on. But what does Phil talk about? Oh, that's right, it's Phil, so money.
How am I feeling? I'm all right. I'm doing all right. I'll be honest. Earlier today, we played Clair Obscur for 3 straight hours. It was all story. Literally, all I did was I went right to the dungeon, beat it, went right to the next dungeon, getting through it, and the worst supported stream I've had in a year and a half. No exaggeration. The last time I had that little amount of support was when I was playing Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. I didn't even make 30 bucks today. So it's a pattern now with both Clair Obscur and Blueprints that these long games just don't work anymore. They're too long and people don't have an attention span to watch and show up and support those games. So it sucks because now I'm this far into them and I want to see the ends, but I don't know what to do. We already said on the podcast today I'm going to give
you